And welcome to Fox News Sunday Panel Plus with Britt Hume, A.B. Stoddard, Bill Kristol, and Juan Williams. So let's talk, because we didn't get to do it in our panel, about the 2012 race this week. Probably the biggest news is that Chris Christie and Sarah Palin are staying out. We got a few of the third quarter fundraising numbers, and it looks like Rick Perry, for all of his troubles, in just half the time since he got in the race in mid-August, is going to raise $17 million, which means that he can stay around for a while. And then we had a couple of these straw polls, and in the Values Voter Summit, Ron Paul won out in Minnesota. Herman Cain won. What strikes you as important there, Brett?
The straw polls don't. The money's always important because politicians don't drop out of presidential races because they think they're losing. They drop out because they're running out of money, and it's a fatal blow. I'd like to know when the money came into Rick Perry. Now, obviously, he had only half the time, so it's an impressive number. One senses, perhaps, though, that a lot of it may have come in early and it may have dried up a bit. I don't know. I'd like to know. That's something to watch.
Meaning that when he did badly in the debates,
poor performance leads to diminished contributions. Diminished contributions, if it lasts long enough, lead to exit. So it's important to keep an eye on, whether this money. But he'll be with us for a while, and he'll have a chance to recover from what have been some pretty notably poor performances.
Yeah, it's interesting, A.B., because there is another debate, I think on Tuesday, on Bloomberg, and you got to figure if Perry isn't practicing and planning to do much better than he has done so far, he's making a big mistake.
Yes, and also because his team and his wife have told everybody that he's working hard and has been practicing, and he'll be better prepared next time. So expectations are higher, and he's going to need to meet them. You are right, or contributors are going to begin to get very worried. I think the big question of the week is, can Perry come back? I mean, the money sounds good. Britt's right. If it came in early, oh well. If it's not still coming in, not good. That debate has got to be good for him. And frankly, I think that Ron Paul winning, I mean, we like to dismiss, straw polls, especially when Ron Paul wins them. But Ron Paul winning that value voters poll, that could have been a big thing for Perry. And if he had won it, we'd say, he's coming back. But I think that a lot of those value voters chose Ron Paul, who doesn't talk about those same values that Rick Perry does, over Rick Perry, and I think that's saying something.
Now, I just want to follow up with you because I've already gotten emails today, even before the show, people saying, you discount Ron Paul, you guys in the media, and if he wins or he does well, it's always... I mean, doesn't he deserve some credit? And,
he does.
And I want you to take
A.B.
Stoddard.
I did say, and we always discount them. I mean, Ron Paul made a joke before the Ames poll that if he didn't win, it would be an important straw poll, and if he did win it, it would be nothing. And so he knows
and he almost
that
won.
He almost won 152 votes. And he he is very good at winning them. He's very organized. But as I said, the Values Voters Summit would have been a perfect place for Rick Perry to come back, and he didn't. And I just think it says something.
Bill, first of all, I have to ask you, because with Christie dropping out, I mean, I know I want to hear about your emotional state this week. But I also want to talk about...
You don't want to hear about my emotional state, really.
No, I do want to hear about your emotional state. How upset were you, one? And two, isn't there a growing inevitability now that Mitt Romney is going to be the nominee?
Well, one, I'm used to being disappointed in this cycle, so I've taken it like a man. There is a growing sense of inevitability about Romney, and I think if you had to bet now, of course, he's the favorite to be the nominee. But people in Washington are much too quick to, A, anoint people, and B, sort of assume they're going to have a problem-free path to the nomination. George W. Bush, Bob Dole, people who really did and were the front runners who ended up being the nominee, and that would suggest Romney could follow that path. They all had hiccups, they lost primaries, they lost caucuses, they had rough weeks or two, and I'm sure Romney will have that, and I don't know at whose expense. Perry is being underestimated in Washington. That is, if you step back, and he had horrible debate performances, he still has a respectable support in the polls. He has a lot of money. He's the governor of Texas. He could come back with a decent debate performance. And Cain, Gingrich, Santorum, I'm not so sure one of them won't come from pretty far down to have a bit of a run at Romney.
It is interesting. I mean, you'd look at these polls and right. National polls, Romney just can't get above about a quarter of the electorate. So there's still three-quarters of the electorate really would love to.
And that's the Republican electorate.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, he hasn't made the sale. He could make the sale, and probably will be able to make the sale. But there's more resistance to him than one might have thought at this point.
Why?
Well, the numbers this week on fundraising suggest that a lot of the big money people that were holding out for Chris Christie decided, you know what, let's ante up now for Mitt Romney. So he's going to have even a larger amount of money that will help to sustain him through the course of this campaign. The second thing to say is that you see now Iowa's going to move their caucus up to early January because Florida moved it up. This is all to Mitt Romney's benefit because, again, he has structure, campaign structure, activists, and money on the ground. And then you get into those long, deadly periods between after all the rush in early January towards February and then onto Super Tuesday. People who are going to survive that have money. Mitt Romney has the money. But I come back to what you were saying, to what Bill was saying. 3 out of 4 Republicans are disappointed right now with Mitt Romney. So you have to think a lot of those people, especially given what we saw this week where they're questioning whether or not evangelicals will vote for a Mormon, you have to think a lot of people are just not that excited about Mitt Romney at a time when the far right, the Tea Party right, wants somebody who's going to get out there and punch President Obama in the nose.
So who has a base of the most enthusiastic supporters? The answer is easy. It's Ron Paul. And if you know Ron Paul, I've known him for a long time, it's understandable. He's a very nice man. I mean, a very nice man.
And a smart, thoughtful man.
Thoughtful man, interesting ideas. Some of them I think are way too exotic for the mainstream America. But this core base he has will sustain him with money and organization and all he needs to continue in this process for a very long time. I don't think he's going to get knocked out. And I think the Republican Party has to worry that when all is said and done, he might figure, well, I can't make it in this party. This party is not for me. And if he goes third party in the fall, he's not going to be taking votes away from Barack Obama, in my opinion.
I think that this is the age of Ron Paul in so many ways. I think he's the father of the Tea Party. His son's in the Senate. I think you're exactly right, that people don't understand the power of Ron Paul.
Well,
Juan and I agree on a matter of politics.
There you go.
It has to be right.
No, I was going to say, that sinks some. Listen, if we end up in Des Moines the last week of the year, let's all do Secret Santa, can we? Thank you, panel. Please let us know your thoughts about the 2012 race, where it stands now, who's strong, who's weak, and all you Ron Paul supporters, have at us. Check in with us throughout the week and look for my Monday edition of Wallace Unplugged. You can find it at foxnewssunday.com. We'll see you back here next Sunday.